Hi everyone, Amy Kennedy here, ceramic artist from Melbourne, Australia. A few years ago, I'm sitting in a classroom at uni. I was doing my Masters of Arts Management, which I finished last year. Woohoo! And it was a session on grants and funding. And the lecturer started the session and he said, funding is a complete lottery. And he meant funding for your arts, your art project is a complete lottery. He was talking to a lot of artists, arts managers, curators, wannabe curators, arts administrators, community, people that worked in community arts. He was talking to all of those sorts of people. So I wrote down here, funding is a complete lottery. Write that down. And I looked at it and I thought, wait a minute. No, it's not. It's not a complete lottery. What are you saying? And the reason I had this response is that it wasn't my experience. It wasn't my personal experience. I had a pretty good track record. And I knew other people too that had had really great funding results. And I thought about this word lottery. Actually, more recently, I thought about the word lottery. And lottery means it's pure chance, it's luck, and it's very random. And I really think if funding for your art and your arts project was a complete lottery, then we would put our name on a piece of paper and we would put it in a hat and someone would pick it out. But there is this thing called an application and an application process. And we play a huge part in how that is considered. What did I want to say next? I think at the very least, if we have really good work, we present it really well, it's unique, we have a great idea, we write it clearly, we're very succinct, we back ourselves, we have a good argument, we explain the why, we get assistance, we get support, there are a lot of things here. And we celebrate our achievements, we are confident in that. We can at the very least rise to the top of the pile for consideration. And from there, yes, we cannot be guaranteed because there's so many different things that come into play there. I have had it many times where people say, when I win the lottery, I'm going to go and live in Hawaii. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to buy a new car, maybe, who knows. And you ask that person, do you have a lottery ticket? Oh, no, I don't have a lottery ticket. So they're definitely not going to win the cash bonanza. And it's the same thing with funding and grants. If you don't apply, if you don't throw your hat into the ring, you guarantee you're never going to get an outcome of any sort. I wanted to say here, and I said this to a group of artists that were on a workshop with me last week, is that you never, ever, 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 ever have to apply for funding or a grant in your art or craft practice ever. It's really, really a personal choice. And you can apply for funding. So this whole video isn't to say this is something that you need to do. It is one of many options that we have. And I think it really works really well when we have an idea. We are really, it's a really good idea. We feel really strongly about it and it matches well with a particular grant, a particular organization. And we go for it. I think that there are many pros to applying for funding even when you're not successful, and there are many pros of when you are successful beyond the actual money. So when you apply, you actually have to make an argument, have rationale, explain yourself. You have to get your shit together, don't you? You have to have a plan, itinerary, a budget. You have to have letters of recommendation, all of this stuff. And it is really good experience to put yourself in that framework. You get a lot of clarity yourself on what you want to do, why you want to do it. You also get more eyeballs on your work, especially if you're proud of what you put forth, and hopefully always you're proud of it, that you get new people looking at your work that may never have seen it before. And then if you are successful, the flow-on effect of funding and grants, I really believe outlasts the money. That's important, of course. That's what you're doing it for, to help you with a project. But the long-lasting impact can help with further opportunities. You've got a track record. You might be seen in a better light, etc. So I wanted to dispel the myth that funding is a complete lottery, because in my opinion, it is not. We have a huge say in that. And I also wanted to just make a note here about, it's very interesting that our teachers, lecturers, people above us can say things that really stick. Sometimes these are really good things and sometimes these are not. And I think we should always be questioning them. And I feel really grateful that at this time, a few years ago, I was at a stage where I could question, because I think in the past I would just take everything as gospel. And I really encourage you to question everything that I've said here on this video. You might totally disagree, which is totally fine. It's totally good. It's great. You can put in the comments. So thanks for listening. I hope this is some useful food for thought, as I like to say, and I will see you next week.